YouTube, it's Louise the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Welcome back. Welcome back to Yarn Chat. Let's talk yarn. Let's talk all crafty nonsense. Let's talk about things that we make with our hands or that we see in books and that we want to make. Let's talk about things. Let's talk about all the stuff that we've been doing and what we're currently doing. And this is your yarn group, knit group, crochet group for those people that can't get out to a knit group, crochet group, or don't want to go to one, or want to sit back and know that they're sat with a friend who cares about them and that we're going to talk yarn. And I'm going to show you stuff that I've been working on, and you're going to tell me stuff that you've been working on so that I can go and look it up on the internet. That's the way it works. That's what we do. So yeah, it's a shame we can't do, is there some way that you can do a kind of a way that we could all get together? I don't know. We'll have to look about that in coming months. Sorry, I'm just rearranging myself. So hey, how you doing? It's been months since I've sat down and done this. If you can see, I've got a ring light, and that's because it's a very grey end of the day. I'm going to spin you around so you can see how tidy my room is. But also, you get to look at outside. Hey, friends. I'm going to spin you back. Close your eyes if you don't want to get dizzy. There we are. That's the view from this window. Isn't it lovely? But that sky, we do big skies. I'm in the east of England, and I am the Fens. If you know England, are just there. We're right on the edge of the Fens. We would say we're not Fen. We would say that this village isn't Fen, but I think it probably is. But I would say the Fens are about 3 yards. Other side of the village is where the Fens really start. So the one thing about the Fens is very flat lowlands, and they go flat for miles and miles and miles. And what it does mean is you get very big skies. And whilst I love trees, I do love the big skies that we do get in this part of the country. And you see the weather in all its glory. So that's why I've got a ring light on, because that is not giving me enough light. I also have a light up there. I'm trying everything I possibly can to be illuminated for you. Illuminated. So yeah, hey, welcome back. It's been a time, hasn't it? So I'm going to show you some stuff that I've been doing. My idea is, this is my idea, that I will briefly chat for a few moments, and then what I'm going to try and do in the yarn chats coming up is I'm going to do 3. Now, 3 is a fabulous number. 3 is a magic number. It is, in fact, a magic number. But I'm going to do 3. So I'm going to do a knitting thing, I'm going to do a crochet thing, and I'm going to do a new thing. And that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to do a knitting thing, I'm going to do a crochet thing, and I'm going to do a new thing. And that new thing can accomplish anything. Okay, so it could be a stitch thing, or it could be another knitting thing, or it could be a book, or it could be a magazine, but it will be a new thing. That's what I'm classing that. So a knit thing, a knitting thing, a crochet thing, and a new thing. But I'll just say hi first. So if you're new here, welcome. Come and sit down, grab yourself a drink. We have tea, coffee, white wine. We have some beer chilling in the fridge if you'd like to help yourself to a little cheeky beer. I've already lit a candle. We have got pear, and where that's the pear, and there is no picture of the blackcurrant, but it is pear and blackcurrant. If you want to just take a breath in, take a breath out, get yourself comfy, take a sip of your drink, grab your craft, and let's catch up. So, how have you been doing? What have you been up to since I last saw you? This room has had a changeover. I did have quite a rickety garden table here, a wooden garden table, which has now gone back outside. And that was because I knew eventually I was going to get this desk, which I have here. I will some point do a tour of this room because it is going to be done up, but I don't know when it's going to be done up. I don't know when it's going to be done up, but it will be done up. I'd love to say it will be this year. I'm not actually. I don't see what the problem is about doing it up because it's going to be me doing it up, and there isn't going to be an awful lot that's going to be bought. It's just a lot of moving stuff around. But yeah, so I got this desk, and this desk, if I'm going to show you very briefly, is this fabulous wooden, look at that, desk, as you can see it's quite big. It's 5 feet, I should imagine. I should imagine it's about 5 feet long. It's probably 2.5 feet wide, I would say. It was my dad's desk. My dad was a bank manager for National Westminster Bank in the 70s and 80s, and this was his desk. And they gave it to him when he left, because he left, and they gave it to him. He got promoted out of it, and he was so beloved there, they gave him his desk. And he had it always, and then after he passed and after my mum passed, it was given to us, so we had it. John, the husband, has been having it in his office, but the way that the room's set up, the desk can only go on that wall, really. It can go on that, I think it can go on that wall, but we're going to have to show, that's something that we might have to try. But the way that the husband has his room set up, the office set up, it can only go on this wall, which meant when he was doing Teams, he had the window behind him, which was a pain. So he wanted to get a different desk that he could have so that he could have the window facing him, and he didn't always have to have another light on and be worried about kind of the light coming in from behind him when he's working remotely. So so I always knew I was going to get the desk, and I've always wanted the desk. It's brilliant. It's got lots of storage. It's lovely, and it's my dad. It's just my dad's desk. It makes me so happy. Normally I would tidy this up and make it more glamorous for you. Or I like to have actually an empty desk. I'm one of those people that likes to have everything in its place and a place for everything when it comes to like this. However, Saturday's for playing with yarn, and I was playing with all these balls of yarn earlier, and I'm going to be doing it tomorrow, so I thought there's no point me clearing it just to put it back out again, because I'm going out in about an hour and a half anyway. So I thought, well, I'll just leave it there, and you can get to see the lovely colours. The lovely colours of the wool I'm going to be playing with, and that'll be something that I can show next time. Yes, hopefully next weekend. In my dreams, I would really love to do a booktube in the midweek and then yarn chat at the weekends. I want to make yarn chat more of a priority than my booktube. I really enjoy booktube, but at the moment my passion is really, I'm so focused on yarn. And I have found it a real blessing over this last couple of months where things have been a bit more stressful, what with changing jobs and illness. Yarn has been, playing with yarn, knitting and crochet have been absolute lifelines to me. And So let's start. Let's just crack right on in, and we can catch up as we go along. But the first thing I'm going to show you is a knitting thing. So it's a knitting thing, and here it is. It's a pouch. I knitted, this was the first one I made. Meet my knitted pouch. Okay, so that's the first one I made. Then I made this one. Isn't it beautiful? This was the second pouch I made. And earlier in the week, I finished the third one. Oh my gosh, I am in love with this pattern. I'm in absolute love. So can I put them here? Can you see them if I put them there? Let's move stuff. And move that down a little bit. Here we go. Are they not just beautiful? No, I'm going to have to put that back up, otherwise. There we go. But yeah, they're there. here we are. Let me show you this one. This was my first one. It has a few more mistakes in it, as these things do. First time you do a pattern, you're going to make mistakes. But at the same time, you are going to find out how fabulous a thing is. So this has just currently got some balls of cotton in because I'm keeping them in here. This is a pouch for gorgeousness. The pattern is called Purl Pouch by Tori Yu. Okay, and it says, a darling pouch made thoughtfully to hold the things you love most. Okay, so it comes in 3 sizes. This is the medium. So this is the medium size with the unruffled edge. It has an amazing construction. It's knitted in one piece. So you knit these I-cord ties first. So the first thing you do is you knit the I-cord ties, and then the rest is knitted in one piece. What? What? How brilliant is that? It's all done in one go. Now I've done this one in 2 tones because I decided to use the pattern to use it to use how many times can I say use in one word, in one sentence, to use up my scraps. So this was something that I used from this was a Eden Cottage yarn, I think, from years ago. An Eden Cottage yarn from years ago. It feels like, I don't have the ball band anymore, but it's merino and silk and maybe a nylon blend, I think. This is held double. So you start off by using one strand, and then you add a second strand, and then the main body is knitted in the round, held double. And look at that, look at its bum. I actually did that wrong, so that bottom is not looking quite right. Let me show you the second one I knitted. So I decided to do this, and the pattern is very much kind of, you can do whatever you want. So this I decided to do, the black. Let me show you. The black is Drops, and I can't remember which one it is. I really can't, because they're all kind of scrappy bits that I had left from other projects. So it is the brand is Drops. It's fingering weight, and again it's held double. So that was that. This one again is Eden Cottage Yarns, and I cannot remember what this. I think this might be Bluefaced Leicester, I think it is. Bluefaced, yeah, that's ringing a bell that it's Bluefaced. Yes, Bluefaced Leicester yarn. Wool, actually. I don't think it's got any nylon in. It's quite woolly. It's quite woolly wool. Again, fingering weight, held double, because that's what you do. And this has a picot edge. So if you can see that the top here is a bit more fancy than that top. I actually quite like the normal, just bog basic edge, but doing all one colour, I think I like the picot edge on that. And again, this is the Drops, which is alpaca, so it's Drops alpaca yarn. I don't know if it's got nylon in or. As I say, I'm using up scraps. So if I show you look at that. The base I did utterly correctly this time, and you get to see it in all its glory. And it's funny, when I've shown people it, they're like, oh, lovely, look at the base. How do you do that? And when I say, oh, it's knit in the round, their eyes, if they're non-knitters, go huge, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. It's an amazing construction. I can't go into it because it's a paid pattern. But you actually, that bit there is the cast on. I know. and you knit these in. It's brilliant. It's such a brilliant pattern. So this is Eden Cottage Yarns, Bluefaced Leicester wool, I want to say. This yarn, I can't remember what it is. I think, is it Betsy Makes? I think it might be yarn from Betsy Makes. I think so. Again, I think it's got silk in it. It's got the sheen of something that's got silk in it. I think it's probably merino, nylon and silk blend is how it feels. Or maybe cash. Yeah, I think it's got silk in. It's got that kind of sheen. And this is the same yarn as this, but it's a most glorious blue. It seems to be the tiny bit smaller. That's just because I stopped. So about 3, maybe 2 or 3 rows shorter. But other than that, it is actually the same size as the other one, the other two-tone. I really like the two-tone. This has just got some granny squares in it. I kind of don't know what to use them for. They're just so lovely. But yeah, there we go. That's the pattern. I am very tempted to keep on. This is like my go-to knitting thing at the moment. Let me show you again. Purl Pouch by Tori Yu. Paid for pattern. It's brilliant. I shall link it below, or at least I'll put the details below if I can't link it, and I'll see if I can find what I think the wools might be. But as I say, I'm using scraps. I have got down here, I've got this entire, oops, I've got bags of yarn that I don't really know what to do with. I've kind of separated them into colours because I'm like that. Look at that, that's a nice selection. And they are the leftovers from other pieces, and I don't want to get rid of them, but I don't know what to do with them. And this is a great pattern for using that fingering weight yarn, because you start with a single strand and then you add another strand. And I do like the two-tone. The husband likes the two-tone as well. So yeah, there's my pouches. My pouches. I have been using this as a knitting bag. I put another little mesh bag in here, like one of those bags. That's something that I'll show you another day. I've been putting those in there, and the pattern does actually say, the designer Tori does actually say, if you put a fabric liner in, it would strengthen it and you could use it for a lot more things. What I think I might do is, I've got a couple of birthdays later in the year, so what I think I might do is I might choose some of my wools and make them as gifts, because not only are you going to get something lovely inside, but you will get this fabulous pouch. I cannot. Can you tell? It's like something you would have jewels in, or keep precious items in. I definitely feel like it feels like you would keep precious items in there. They don't actually take me that long to make up. I think probably that took the longest because I didn't know what I was doing. Do you not always find that the first time you make a pattern, it's a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm well, I'm just having a go and seeing what's happened. Oh, could you see one of my gnomes? Sat there. One of my gnomes just sat there having a moment. So yeah, there we go. That's my, I'm just putting something on actually. I'm just doing something to show you later. My something new. I'm just getting it sorted. So have a moment while I just do this. Yeah, there we go. Right, so that's my knitted thing. I'm really inspired by it. I like to have a go-to knitting project. There has to be enough in it that it keeps me interested. Started to rain, by the way. No washing on the line today. No. We've not had much significant rain for, I think it's 20 days. So we could actually do with some significant rain. Not that it's, it's just been cold, and the last couple of days have been quite grey. But yeah. So I like to have a knitted pattern with something enough going about it that it keeps me interested, but doesn't take too long, so that I have the fun of completion. I actually get to the feeling where I actually feel like I've finished something. But I can pick up and I can do like at lunchtime at work. I'm keeping everything in there. So I'm keeping the pattern in this project bag, which I made years ago. It is a tiny bit, here we are, this is the wool that I've recently used. I don't have a ball band in here, do I? No. Oh, I do. Here we go. Oh, Drops Flora. That's the black. There we go. That's Drops Flora. Don't know what Drops Flora is. 65% wool, 35% alpaca. There we go. That's good. The other bits literally are, I have no information. So in this bag I am keeping all the stuff that I need. I'm keeping my interchangeable needles, which I use higher sharps. So this is my interchangeable needle set. And use two sizes, 3.25 and 3.75, and then I have 3.25 zings and 3.25 carbons, knit pro, and I have Addy 3.75. So I don't think I've used those, but maybe I have. It does seem a little bit tool heavy, I will admit. There is that. You are changing. I don't know whether it's because I don't have an interchange. I don't have a 9 to 12 inch lead. The smallest I have is 16 inch, and I think if you had a 9 to 12 inch circular, you wouldn't have to use all the various bits. But there's it's a bit tool heavy. What else have I got in here? Oh, I have it's not a glamorous tape measure, but it is a handy dandy. I'll just put that on the floor. Yeah. So yes, here we are. Here's the remnants. I've still got a lot actually of remnants for this. I'm not sure if I haven't got enough to do another in that blue, but I might actually change colour, because the colour and the feel of the wool is what lends it excitement. So I need to start another one and have another knitting project on the go. So there we go. So that's the knitting thing. Let's move on. Cheers. To the crochet thing. If I'm gabbling, do tell me. Here he is. You'll have seen him. Oh, you will have seen him in the I can't remember what it's called. The bit that you click on. So yeah, in the advert, I suppose. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, here he is. So this is my Reaper from by RoKiKi. RoKiKi. Unfortunately, I don't have the pattern to show you, so I'll put it down below. Normally, I print these things out, and if I did print this one out, which I'm sure I did, do not know where I've put it. I'm just randomly searching. No, it's not there. I do not know where I've put it. I have got a file with lots of patterns I've printed out, and it's not on there. One sec. What's that? Is that it? No. No, I don't know where it is. I did this in October. So this is one of my older pieces. It's called the Grim Reaper. This is it's got a pipe cleaner in it, but I actually think I need to open it up and put something a bit more sturdy in it because it's very floppy. He's got a bit of a floppy scythe, which is not good for any Grim Reapers. He's very embarrassed about his floppy scythe. So yes, this is it. This is my little Grim Reaper by RoKiKi. If you remember last year, I did a couple of aliens, which I don't have here. I did other ones. I did a skull candle, and this was my little Grim Reaper, and he is adorable. He is absolutely adorable. This comes off, and you get to see. Look, isn't he just amazing? It is so well done, so well designed. I might stitch that on and put a little stitch there, because at the moment sometimes it does fall off. But I think I might stitch that there, and I might open up this at the bottom because it is stitched. But I might, or maybe I'll look at the top. I might look at the top and see whether I can thread something through, because there is a little hole there, so I might see if I can thread something through and make it a little less floppy. So this is my Amiguri Reaper for my Halloween delights. He actually just sits on top of the wardrobe in our bedroom, which is I was a bit like, is this a bit funny? But the husband's like, no, it's fine. He's kind of cute. No, you are scary at the same time. Yeah. I'll sort your side out. Yeah, and then you won't be so embarrassed. Yeah. I'll make it a bit firmer. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. So yeah, so there we go. So this is my Grim Reaper by RoKiKi. How many pieces are you knitting? Are you crocheting? I think we do the hat first. Not hat, what's it called? Your hood first. Then I think it was your skull. And then it's head down, and these are done separately. His scythe was super quick to do. The whole thing didn't take me that long. They're so effective without being incredibly complicated. So if you're interested in having a go at some Amiguri and you're not sure where to start, I do really recommend RoKiKi's patterns because they are so effective without being super fiddly. There is a tiny bit of embroidery to get your skull sorted. I'm not sure about your nose. Can I just sort that out a tiny bit? It's a bit personal, isn't it? But there we go, that looks slightly better. But yeah, there's our little Grim Reaper. So let me show you the yarn I used. I have been tending to use, because this is what I can get. Can I find a way of showing you? There we go. So it's Stylecraft Naturals Organic Cotton. It says 4mm crochet hook, but I think I end up using a 2.75 or much smaller. By using a much smaller crochet hook, you get a much tighter stitch and less gaps. So you get a much denser fabric, which is sturdier. I do like the organic cottons, but it is very much because that's what's in the local yarn shop. and they've got a good range of colours, and I'm building it up, so I don't really want to change because that's what I'm using. The skull, I used this colour, shade Bone, because that seemed rather fitting. His floppy scythe, which will be altered, was in Flax, and the grey I just shown you, which is Dove, which is very nice. Fortunately, can I alter you to make you? Oh, that's actually quite good. Is that any better? I don't know actually. Oh, so this is. Oh, did you see that colour? Oh, actually that's better. Let's go through that. No, that's worse. What was I? There we are. I think I was there. And I'm now regretting doing this. All right, okay. No, that's a terrible one. There we are. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. So this is, let's see if I just put you down, I can just sort the colour out a bit. There we go. That's a better reflection. You kind of need the light, but actually don't want the direct light. So in Flax. And then the black is, I think, called, it's not called black. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the black. So those are the 4 colours that I used. And I've got quite a few colours now of the Stylecraft organic cotton naturals. So yeah, as I've got them, I'm using them and not changing. The ones I really like, I will show you here. I really like these. I like the, this is one of my favourite ones, is the Katona. So ideally I would have a lot of those instead, but I'd have to order those in. Wow, it's a very dark sky out there. Do you want to see? I'm going to spin you around. Ooh, is it gonna? I'm hoping that's not just nightfall. I think that is gonna have a bit of a rain. Sorry, just let me get you sorted. Ooh, there you go. So yeah, there we go. That's better. Yeah. So as I was saying, I would prefer to have a lot more of the other colours, but the other brand. But I want to support the local yarn shop. I want them to do well. They're the ones that have got. Then they've got a decent range and they've got the colours in that I needed. So I needed blacks and greys and bones and stuff like that. I definitely think I need to just put a stitch on the top of your hood and firm up your scythe. So there we go. That's what I'm going to do for this little chap. So that is my crochet thing. Shouldn't really kiss him, but he is too cute. And here we are. This is our last bit. It says slightly tidying up. I like everything that has in its place, and a place for everything. I thought I was a wild and crazy person, but obviously I'm not. And let me show you my last thing. It's a new thing, and it's these stitch markers. Here we go. Can I show you them? I'll put them on here so that I put them on my pouch so you can see them. Oh, they're lovely. So I really wanted a toadstool stitch marker because I really like them. I really like toadstools, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking that I think it's from when I was reading when I was a little girl and the illustrations, and I think toadstools were so represented, and I think it's one of those things there we are, that's better. I just think they're so cute and lovely. I have somewhere in here this, which I wasn't going to show you, but I'll show you. This is what I mean. I like toadstools. It's my pin cushion. Bit of dust, and it's lavender scented and stitched, and I always have that in here. I do use it actually. That is the pins that I most commonly use. So I really love toadstools, and I always have them. And I don't know why I wanted it. I was looking up toadstools for other things, and I just thought I really would like one. So I used it as a stitch marker. You do, when you're knitting the pouches, you do need to use the stitch marker at times. You need to put start of the round marker, but also I was actually, you knit these in, you knit the channel, and these actually stay in, but of course it's open, so I was holding these together with a little stitch marker. So I was using my, so I thought, oh, I shall treat myself. I will put the name of, I think it's Duck and Rabbit, who are from Etsy, and this was, I looked up at Etsy and toadstool stitch markers, and she also had this lovely flower at the same time. So these are hard enamel stitch markers. You could choose your fitting. I just chose a claw because that's just what I'm used to. I was using light bulb stitch markers, and so I ordered these two, and she very nicely sent me the leaf, which again is a hard enamel, and she sent it on a little claw, and it's this lovely, it's not iridescent, but it's this lovely hard enamel stitch marker. So she sent me that as well. So Duck and Rabbit, I will make sure I find her link, and I'll put her link in the description if you want to go and say hello. I must review it actually, and to tell you what, I'll tell her that I've mentioned her. So aren't they beautiful? So I'm so pleased with them. I wanted to get something that just was a bit special. And I think it was because the Purl Pouch, I had all the equipment. I've got a big variety of needles, as well as circular needles, as well as DPNs. I've got lots of different sizes now. I've collected those along the way. I was using leftover yarn, so I kind of treated myself, and I think these were £3, but I may be wrong. They weren't. I think they were £3, if they were that. They were either £2 or £3. So I think I bought these two, and I got this one as well. So yeah, isn't that nice? That's my, it's a new thing. So that was my treat for this month. I just, they're so nice. Do you know, what colours shall I do for the next one? I want to make one for my chum. I actually want to make quite a few and give them as gifts. So yeah, there we go. There we go, Yarn Chat. There we go, YouTube. This has been lovely. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the catch up. We'll do more catch up the more that we see. I don't want these to be super long so that I can get them uploaded. And yeah, there we go. So from me and the Grim Reaper, the cutest Grim Reaper you'll ever find, we need to give you a name. Don't know what to call him. Gary the Grim Reaper? Can he be called Gary? No. I don't know what to call you, but you are very cute. And we'll sort out your floppy scythe. Yeah. So this has been lovely, YouTube. Let's do this again.